process, but we encourage all people to think about, if you really love civic work and community action, to think about being a director at large. It's really makes our work easier, and it helps you to understand what's going on in the community.
Thank you, Bettina. Thank you very much. So this meeting is going live. I think it's 6:30, 6:28. We got about a few more minutes, but we're gonna go ahead and get started. I guess it's okay to start 2 minutes early, or should I wait 2 more minutes? Anybody else want to comment? So let's go ahead and
I move that we start early, 2 minutes early.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're
I move
good.
that you start at your posted time, because people aren't going to tune in until 6:30.
Thank you, Ms. Landry. So it is 6:28. Let me know, good people, when it's 6:30. Dr. B, would you like to introduce yourself as a board member?
I'm driving.
Hey, thank you.
Hello, everyone. This is Dr. B, your community physical therapist, also past president for the Greater Haitian American Chamber of Commerce, trying to bridge the gap. We'll keep connecting.
Yes. And he did a good job at serving, I think, 3 years with the Greater Haitian American Chamber of Commerce. And so thank you for your service to the community, and thank you for your service to the board. So Captain Ms. Rump, are we meeting tonight? Captain Joe is trying to get on. Joe Carter's trying to get on. I thought I sent him the link. Yes, I'm going to. I can't see him the link right now. Lieutenant, are you on, right? Virginia Weeks, Riggs, she's on.
Patricia, I will resend it. Let me see if I can locate his information.
Joe Carter.
Joe Carter, okay.
Captain Carter, thank you very much. Send him the link. Okay, thank you. So we'll go ahead and get started at 6:30. Good afternoon, everybody. This is the Pine Hills Community Council Community Monthly Meeting. Thank you for joining us tonight. The time is 6:30. We'll go ahead and get started. So I'm calling this meeting to order at 6:30. You're gonna open up with prayer and pledge. So if Pastor Joy, could you open up with the prayer and pledge for us, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, let's pray. Well, Lord, we thank you for this opportunity to come together, to gather together in our many different areas. And we come together, God, for this community. Lord, we love this community. We're invested in it. And we just want everything to be well. We want everything to be beautiful and good. And we know, God, that with your help, God, that can be so. And so, Lord, even as we go forth in this meeting on today, God, I pray, God, that you would be with us, lead us, and guide us. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Well, there we go. There's that flag. Here we are. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor Joy. I'm gonna go back and just remind everyone that if you're not speaking, please keep your device on mute at all times so we don't have the interference that's coming through. That'd be greatly appreciated. So we're just gonna welcome everyone again. If this is your first time joining us, I want you to know who the Pine Hills Community Council is. We are a 501c4 nonprofit civic organization. And I like to say that the council is the leading organization that is advocating on the behalf of the residents in the Pine Hills community. So thank you very much for joining us. I want to recognize any political officials that we may have here. Do we have any political officials or those that's representing a political figure? I think Landra, you introduce yourself again.
Absolutely. Landra Warmack from the Office of Orange County Tax Collector Scott Randolph. Just wanted to say again, we are a proud member of the Pine Hills Community Council, and just am very proud of the work that Patricia and you and the board have done in Pine Hills, and we look forward to partnering with you again for the remainder of the year.
Thank you, Landra. Let me take this call. Someone finish over.
And Madam Rupp, if you can go ahead and select record.
Yes,
Record the
okay.
meeting.
Yes, and I will, Captain. Just 1 second, please. Thank you. Did you send it to him, Dr. Nichols?
He's not in my email communications. He didn't get it.
Let me give you his.
If you pop it in the chat box, I can send it to him.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to do this. Let me just do this. Let me stop sharing for a moment. And either Noah or Dr. Nichols, take over the meeting, please. I'm going to go off and I'm going to send this to Captain Carter. So someone take over the meeting, please. I sent out the agenda. So Noah.
Yeah, I'm here.
Nichols, okay.
Okay.
Can you finish
So
the
we-
meeting, please? Thank you.
I think we're still in this welcome section. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So is there anyone else that we didn't recognize or would like to let us know that you're here? Okay. All right. So we'll move on to the approval of the minutes of the last meeting. Ms. Bertina, you have those minutes?
I sent them out to the board this morning for
Yes.
review. And so if they have had a chance to look at them.
Yes. Yes, I did. I moved that we accept the minutes as printed by Ms. Bush.
Second. Okay, so we have moved by Ms. Evangeline Richardson and seconded by Kenneth Dwyer. So be it approved. Now we'll have the treasurer's report from Ms. Van Richardson.
Yes, and at this time, she would share it on the screen, and since she's not there, we'll just share it what I have, and hopefully when she get back on, you can get a chance to see it. But
Okay.
this month, for the month of March, we had $509.12 in dues, and so that's a good thing. However, we had $232 in expense, and that was for our mailbox. We have to rent our mailbox for the year, and the price for renting a mailbox for a year is $232. Thank you. And then we have, as you see, at the beginning of March, we had $7,215.40 in our checking account. And then you look at for our expenses and our income for the month of March, that we end up at the end of March with $7,492.52. If you look further down on 3/1, we had $1,625.39 in our savings account. We got 1 cent interest, and so at the end of March, we have $1,625.40. Our SunTrust saving, we had $7,784.03. We got a total of 5 cents in the month of February. As you notice that our thing from the bank for SunTrust, is a month behind because of they have to mail it out, and by the time they mail it out by the time I get it, it's the middle of the month, so we're always a month behind. But at the end of February, we had $7,784.08 in our savings account at SunTrust. So with all funds on hand, our total operating, a total of funds that we have on hand is $16,902. Are there any questions? If
No
not,
questions.
back to you.
I move that we accept the treasurer's report.
I second it.
Okay, so we have the treasurer's report moved by Mr. Kenneth Dwyer and seconded by Dr. Nicholson,
Yes,
correct?
yes.
Yes,
I think we should do the prayer and the pledge.
we've done that.
We did that already, Ken. Thank you. Thank you very much.
We did. So Madam
Is
President,
Captain-
you're back. You want to take the reins? Because it's
Is
not your,
Captain Carter, is Captain, thank you, Noah. Thank you very much. Is Captain Carter on now?
Yeah, I see it.
Yes, ma'am. I just got the button here, so yes, ma'am, I'm on.
Okay, good. Thank you. Just in time. I'm going to do the president report and then we'll move on to the
It's staying warmed up.
someone please mute your lines. I'm going to do the president report and I'm going to make 3 bullet points with our president report. Then we'll come back and discuss these later on. I see Ms. Rose Nancy from the Commissioner Sipling office has joined in. We recognized the representatives earlier. So thank you, Rose Nancy, for joining us as usual. So just 3 bullet points I want to say about our president report. And then we'll get into our sheriff report. And then we'll get into our speaker. So for our president report, these 3 bullet points I want to highlight is that, let me get here. Turn the page. There was a tree that was in the Pine Hills area. Captain Carter's on the line just in time. I think there's Captain Carter in the background. Captain Carter, you want to give us an update on this right quick, please, on this tree that was in the Pine Hills area?
Yes, ma'am. That is a excellent representation of the tree there. We unfortunately have a biblical reference to the tree, and we call it the tree of knowledge. That goes back, I had to educate some of my deputies, and not quite as strong in the Bible as we should be. But we, in the tree in Genesis, they talk about the tree of knowledge and eating from the fruit, and that's what spoiled Eden. So we affectionately call this the tree of knowledge here because there were a lot of people underneath the tree eating from the fruit, and that sort of spoiled Eden there. So it has been a thorn in the side of the community for many years. It provides a gathering place for illicit activities. I'll be kind. Illicit activities. So there's 2 sides to the coin. We knew this, and it was easy fishing for us to go there and to conduct law enforcement operations and always catch fish, as it seemed to be a never-ending population there underneath the tree. So I've worked for a long time, and Ms. Rump has worked for a long time with the Pine Hills Neighborhood Improvement District, which are the businesses, and said, when you tell me that you're ready for the tree to be removed, I will support you 100%. So that day came some time ago. They had to go through the Orange County process of permitting, and then there are a couple stumbling blocks, but we worked through those. But the property owner of the Presidente supermarket, and he is the strip owner too, Mr. Ariel Martinez, is a great supporter of the community.
Yes.
He came forward and said, hey, it's time for the tree to be removed. And Sam Weekly, who's a county government, and he helps out the Neighborhood Improvement District. Sam was leading the charge. A big thanks to Sam leading that charge. And we got the paperwork and the permitting through county government. And Mr. Martinez, Ariel, and Abel, the manager at the store, were all out there. Miss Rump was out there. Clayton was out there. The chair of the Neighborhood Improvement District, all out there to watch the tree be removed. So hopefully, and I speak sort of metaphorically here, hopefully now the sun will shine through, and all the problems underneath the tree will move away, and we'll address those as they move in different directions. So Miss Rump was out there, and it was a pretty big day there, because that tree has been a real thorn in our side for illicit activities for a long time. And we're trying to move them along the way and keep everything clean, and great businesses like the Presidente supermarket, those anchor stores in there, providing that stability for the community. So thank you, Ms. Rump, and thanks to Sam Weekly and Ariel over store and everybody. That was a great day last week.
It was. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes,
That's
sir.
one-
Yes, ma'am.
That's one of the things I want to share about the president report. I'm gonna move to the other one because we have a full agenda here today, and our speaker is already on the line, Ms. Candy Cole. And I do want to bring her up at 7 o'clock. This is the other thing I want to bring to the community. This is a property that's in District 6. This is the old Agape. This is another victory. Captain Ela is not here, but this building is coming down. This building finally went before the Orange County Magistrate hearing in March. And it was ruled that this building is to come down within the next 30 days. So this building is located on Hiwassee, close to Hiwassee and Silver Star. So this will not be a thorn in our flesh anymore to see this property here. So that's another thing I want to report. And the third thing I want to report on, and we come back to these items later. The third thing I want to report on is this. There is a project that's being proposed to be rezoned in the Pine Hills community on Clare Corner Coy Road. It is proposed to be rezoned so it can house mental health homeless. And that's fine. I understand the humanitarian part of that. But there's going to be a community meeting, a zoning meeting, excuse me, on April 21st. The point I want to make is that when I listened to the presentation from the meeting, a couple of things stood out to me. One, they said that this would be transition for conditional release. As a former probation officer, the term conditional release means to me that you're coming out of prison and you're being released on certain conditions. So it sounds like to me this is going to be a state facility for adults. The other thing that stood out to me is that it's located in Pine Hills, in the heart of Pine Hills on Clare Corner Coy Road. However, the sign says Expire Health Partners Ocoee campus. So is it going to be in Pine Hills? It's going to be in Ocoee? Is this misleading? What's the deal? So we're getting to these discussions later on in the presentation, but I did want to just bring these 3 points out to right now. After the speaker come on, we'll have time for question and answer period to discuss these 3 items that I just brought up. Because I know if we get into this question and answer period right now, we would not get to the speaker at 7 o'clock. So that's just a teaser for you to stay on the line after the speaker. So thank you very much. Okay, so I'm gonna move on along the agenda. We have the Orange County Sheriff on the line. Captain Carter gave a report, but we have another sheriff represent District 6. Pine Hills is divided into, Pine Hills community has 2 commissioners, a commissioner in District 2 and a commissioner in District 6. And we have 2 sectors, Sector 1 and Sector 3 for our sheriff department. You just heard from Captain Carter, who covers Sector 1. And Sector 1 is Silver Star Road going north toward Apopka. Sector 3 is Silver Star Road going south toward going south toward West Colonia Drive. So we have someone on from Sector 3 on. Miss Virginia Ricks, do you want to report from Sector 3 for Captain Carter? I mean, for Captain Ela, excuse me, from Captain Ela.
Yes, ma'am. He just wanted me to bring up that robberies are the hot spot right now, or the hot topic right now.
Okay.
We're seeing a huge increase along the Silver Star corridor, from Silver Star, Hiawassee area, and Golf Club Parkway especially. And things we can do to prevent those, obviously, are, walk in pairs. If you're walking, try to, if you can, if you're able to during the daylight and stuff like that, and any lighting always helps. And of course, if you see something, say something. We've responded to a couple calls, like one last night, and nobody would meet with us. They wouldn't even talk on the phone, but it was a pretty big robbery shooting scene. And we just need those witnesses to help solve these, as well as auto thefts. But just a reminder, keep your doors locked and do not put a spare key in your car, because they will definitely find that key and take your car. Always keep the spare key somewhere other than the car. And that's all that we had.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Are there any
Thank you.
questions for me? Are you okay if I have to go to a call? If not, I can try to stay on via the phone for later, but I'm afraid I won't.
Are there any questions for anyone of the Captain Carter, either Lieutenant Ricks?
Hey, Patricia, I did have a really quick question. Thank you for sharing that information. I know you have to go on a call. You said that those crimes are happening particularly on Silver Star, on east, is there a certain vicinity?
In the Hiawassee Silver Star, all the way to the golf club Silver Star area, and a little bit south. So I'd say almost to Balboa, but mainly Silver Star corridor is where we're seeing an increase in those types of crimes, as well as shootings, which we know, those go hand in hand together. But we really, I'll tell you right now, the witness thing, and I get it, I understand, I tell people that I wouldn't want to be a witness either, but maybe be one by at least the phone. We need something to help try to solve these and, get those type of people off the streets.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Captain Carter, did you want to add anything else before we move on?
No, ma'am. Lieutenant Ricks did an excellent job there. Those are our focus areas there. Both Sector 1 and 3 are tuned in very tightly to Pine Hills, and we monitor those crimes, and we move our deputies, our cop squads, and our patrol deputies to respond to that. We look at those hot spots, and that's where we put our focus. I've just sent out same information she covered to our deputies on the north side, same exact spots that we're putting our focus on there. So anything we can do to help, we're greatly appreciative.
Thank you for that. Yes, thank you.
We appreciate you all. Thank you so much. We definitely appreciate you all help as well.
I
And the
have
partnership.
Captain Carter. Captain Carter,
Someone needs
Yes,
to
ma'am. I hear you,
mute.
Bertina. Go ahead.
you're
If
still
you're not
planning?
speaking, please mute your lines. Please, please, please mute you. I can fix that. Go ahead, Go ahead, Bettina. I'm sorry. Bettina?
Are you still planning to have one district instead of two?
So ask that again.
Bettina, you have frozen. I think she said, are you still planning
My
on
question
having?
is, are you planning one district instead of two? Can you hear me now, Patricia?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I just wanted to know if they were going to shoot for one district instead of two, and when that was going to take place.
Bertina, you broke up a little bit, but just you're asking when the two sides of Pine Hills will be joined together.
Yes.
That's still in the future. That the plan is still in place, but it's linked with our internal computer system upgrade, which is dragging a little bit. So
Okay.
we can't join the two pieces of Pine Hills together until we get the new computer system, which is going to be a couple more months on that one, because the new computer system will have all the mapping and all the new boundary lines for joining the two pieces, the north and south, together. And that when we do that, that will all come underneath my side of the house up in Sector 1. So I will control the law enforcement presence from Pine Hills all the way down to the East-West Expressway, and then all the way west to Lake County.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you
Yes, ma'am.
for the update.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. We're going to go ahead on and move on. I don't see any more hands. I've got two more introductions, and then we're going to move on to the speaker. I see our speaker is on the line, but Commissioner Moore, are you present?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Commissioner
Hello.
Moore, then after Commissioner Moore, we're gonna have Sam Weekly. Commissioner Moore, yes.
Thank you for having me. I'm sorry, we had quite a meeting today between the transportation initiative and then talking about affordable housing and lack of housing and the potential amendment, charter amendment on the ballot November about rent control. And so I am still driving. We just kind of left the meeting about 45 minutes ago. But I wanted to tell you some good news, and I'm glad, I don't know if Captain Carter's still on the line, but I've been working on Clarkona-Ocoee Road because that's been clearly a big concern of so many of you with regards to speeding and whatnot. And so I met with, first off, when we look at trying to make a street safer, there's the engineering improvements and there's also law enforcement and more speed control. And so I've had both of those meetings. I met with the sheriff, with Sheriff Mina yesterday, and about 2 weeks ago with Humberto Castillo, who would be working on it. So the county is absolutely conducting a study to look at a whole series of federal types of improvements, from taking out parts of the suicide lane to simple, easy things like putting reflective tape on the back of signalization so people can see it better. And there's a whole menu of things. And so once that study is done, I will call a community meeting and get you all engaged in what they had to say, and we can talk some of the things over. And then I did meet with Sheriff Mina, and he heard me loud and clear. And I don't know if he's talked to Captain Carter yet, but that we were all requesting more speed control on Clarkona-Ocoee to get some of those problems under control. And so that was really why I had called Patricia, to make sure you knew all those things were in the works. And so I appreciate the time today.
Thank you very much for calling in. Is there any questions to the commissioner right quick before we move on to Sam?
But she's in, Commissioner Moore is in Sector 1, or on that side, in District 2, and dealing with the Expire. Are you aware of what they're doing or what's happening with the Expire?
A little bit, yes, I am. I'm aware, but I have not had a chance to have an appointment with Aspire. So if you would like to share some of your concerns, I am going to have a meeting with the principal.
Okay, we'll wait for the meeting. Yeah, we're concerned that they're, Pine Hill seems to always be the, as we want to say, the dumping ground for so many programs. We have a lot of programs and stuff, and to put such a facility in the heart of our community, I feel like, it has to be a better choice than that. So I'm concerned it's closed. I'm concerned that they are prisoners being released, and I'm concerned that that's going to spill all over into our community, and just want to see, is there a better place, a better choice for the county as a whole? We have a lot of already programs within our community. We don't need to add more. That's
well, I hear you. I hear you, because I voted against O'Reilly's at the corner of Apopka Island in Clarkona today. And, we're trying to get something better in there. And you're absolutely right. We have to watch putting everything in one area, because then when we're asking these retailers and businesses, they don't want to come. And then we end up with food deserts, and a lot of the speeding problem is because we're trying to get to other places to access businesses and services that we don't have. So I agree with you.
And there's thank you, Ms. Van, for bringing that up, and thank you, Commissioner. There is an email that I did forward to Commissioner Office, and Kathy says she has forwarded those concerns, Ms. Van, on to Expire to address those concerns.
Okay.
So we're waiting to hear back from the Commissioner Office after they hear back from Expire.
Okay. All right. Well, this is something we have to stay on top of, because again, so much is happening. And Commissioner Moore, you said that you voted against the Riley being at the corner of Clarkona and Poplar Island. Is there a reason? Because I don't know why.
Well, the rural settlement people felt that there were already two auto parts stores in that area, and there was an interest more in getting a grocery store. And if we allow all that land to go for these small types of businesses, we won't have any land left for it. And so
Okay.
I committed to the developer to help him try to get Aldi's or something in there that you know, it's still rural settlement there, so that whole set of rules apply. But also the North Pine Hills area really needs a grocery store and needs some more professional office and some different types of uses. We don't need any more auto parts stores.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. I'm trying this down. Thank you, Commissioner. If there's no more questions, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
All right, have a good meeting.
Thank you. Mr. Sam Weekly, you're up next.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. Sam Weekly, Executive Director for the Pine Hills Neighborhood Improvement District. I will make it very quick because you have a great speaker coming up. First of all, I want to chime in with Patricia and Captain Carter and say thank you very much for all the help and support and getting that tree to come down. It was a nuisance. And I'd also like to thank Commissioner Moore and Commissioner Siplin because they also played a role in helping us move that application forward. So thank you to everybody involved. Presidente is eternally grateful and they're a wonderful business partner. I hope you continue to support them in the community and stop in and say hello. Second of all, we're going to have a Pine Hills Neighborhood Improvement District meeting tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, the Dolphin Room at Barnett Park, where we always have it. I did send out a reminder email that some of you may have gotten, some of you may not have. If you do want it, please reach out to Patricia. She can send you the WebEx link for listening in, the audio for that. We have a couple of updates that we're going to provide tomorrow. One of them being our workforce project is going to have its first 2 career fairs. One on Thursday, April 21st. I believe it's at 11 o'clock. And the second one is going to be on Saturday, May 7th at Barnett Park in the Dolphin Room. And that one's going to be, I believe, from 11 to 2. So we are officially kicking this thing off and moving forward. And I'm working on another piece, a website piece that's just as big, if not bigger. So it's a very full encompassing project, very exciting for the Pine Hills community. And I would like to kind of really quickly chime in on the Aspire piece. As it so happens, Aspire also has another campus on Mercy Drive, and it is beautiful. It actually is a very beautiful campus. If you drive back there, it's tucked back in there off Mercy Drive, and it's on the lake. But you may not know that, but that they are back there and they are relatively peaceful. So if you just want to get a look at what Aspire communities look like, just kind of drive back. It's right off Mercy Drive. They have a sign there, and it's like driving back in a heavy wooded oak South Georgia driveway. So, and finally, I want to introduce our newest employee. He is the new project coordinator, who some of you may have remembered was Kia. His name is Sean Hawkins, and he's down there. For me, he's at the bottom of the screen, but Sean comes to us by way of the Orange County Convention Center. He has been his career path is he's been an event manager for about 13 years, and he really wanted to make a change and do some good in the community. And he actually worked with us as a temp during COVID. Orange County Convention Center sent him out to work with us because they were unable to work. So he came and worked with us for several months and really enjoyed it. So he decided to apply, and now he's onboarded and hired. So I just wanted to introduce Sean. And Sean, feel free to say a few words about yourself and make it brief though, because they've got a great guest speaker. So.
Yeah, no, just want to say hello, everyone. I can't wait to meet everybody in person and get to really know everybody. I was actually born here in Orlando, born and raised downtown Orlando, so I know the area very well. I've lived here my entire life, so looking forward to making some good happen in the community and working with everybody and just making it a great time. So it's nice to meet everybody.
And also feel free, we're open for business. So if anybody wants to come by and visit us, We are in Barnett Park at 901 Farron Drive. It's the old Ranger House. Shoot me an email or give me a call and set up an appointment. And we're happy to meet with you and talk to you about what we can do if you're a business owner or thinking about starting a business or just wanting to know what's going on in the community. We're happy to meet with you and talk with you. So again, I'll put my phone number and email in the chat so everybody has it, and I'll open it up for questions if there are any.
Questions? Monique?
Speaker.
Monique,
I know. It took me a second. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just wanted to ask Mr. Weekly, as I work, do you record that meeting at 9 a.m. and post it?
No, the only
Okay.
reason, the only reason we have the WebEx is for people to follow along. We used to do the recordings when WebEx was, when we were allowed to use WebEx, but the state late last year put an end to that. So we are no longer allowed to record meetings via virtual.
Okay. And do you do those monthly? I'm a teacher, so I have summers off and more flexibility. Is that something you do quarterly, monthly?
Well, we typically, our regular schedule is monthly, but we probably won't be having a meeting next month just because we like to kind of stagger them. But typically it's monthly at 9 o'clock.
Thank you.
No problem.
And thanks for joining us tonight, Monique. Thank you.
Question, Sam. Do you any have updates on the groundbreaking for the hub or the mosquito control place?
No on the mosquito control. Potentially for the bus transfer center. I think Jeff Riney's going to give an update on that tomorrow at our meeting, but that's coming up very soon. So Lynx is planning to have a groundbreaking for that facility.
Okay. Thank you, Sam.
Sure thing.
We're right on time for our speaker. And I'm going to ask everyone again, if you're not speaking, to go ahead and put your device on mute. Thank you very much. We got Candy here. Thank you, Candy. So I'm going to bring up our speaker, Ms. Candy Cole. And what I know about Candy, she's executive director of the Orlando Regional Realtor Foundation, which is an arm of the Orlando Regional Realtor Association. So Ms. Candy, you're up. Can I hear you?
Can you hear me okay now?
Yes, I can. Perfect.
Awesome. Okay. It's pouring over here, so I apologize in advance for any background noise. Okay, so I wanted to tell you a little bit about our organization and who we are and what we do. As Ms. Rump said, we are the charitable arm of the Orlando Regional Realtor Association, which is the third largest realtor association in the state and the seventh largest in the country.
Wow.
We're one of the fastest growing metropolitan areas in the country right now. And the reason that this made so much sense, we've been around since about 2004. And the reason that the Realtor Association started this charitable arm is because realtors are natural connectors in the community. Realtors know people in the community. They know what struggles their communities are facing. They know the business owners, and they often know where resources are. So they're great at connecting people with resources. So it was just a great logical fit for the association to start its own foundation to get involved with affordable housing and housing insecurity. So a couple of things that can I share my screen? Can I do this?
Absolutely. Hold on a second. Oh. Yes, absolutely. You can share your screen. I need to make you co-host. That's what I need to do. Co-host. Make co-host. So now I'm making you co-host and you can share your screen.
Okay, there we go. I'm gonna share.
There we go.
This one.
Thank you for coming on board. And you have a lot of your realtors on tonight, so they got the word out.
I do. I have. I saw some amazing realtors on this call that I know and love very, very much. We could not do what we do without realtors giving back. So I wanted to cover a little bit before we get into the nitty-gritty of what the foundation does. I always get asked what's happening with the market. And any realtor can tell you this, that the realtors have, any realtor has access to these numbers. Right now, median home prices as of the end of February are at 345,000. That is a record high. That's a problem. New listings right now up 11%, which is not a surprise because they typically go down in the wintertime and go up a little bit in the spring. But the problem is there's still only 2,300 houses on the market. Inventory is very, very low. That number should be about, in a balanced market, should be about 5 times that much. So there's very little on the market. And, as you can see, median price of $345,000 is just way too high. So let's talk a little bit about what's happening in Pine Hills. There's 2 zip codes in Pine Hills, 32808 and 32818. So in the last 6 months, in 32808, it looks like there's a lot of houses. 69 homes have sold for over 260, and 68 have sold between 220 and 240. So that those, 220 to 260 seems to be the sweet spot there. But there's a pretty good distribution in 32808. In 32818, home prices are a little bit higher. There's a higher median home price there, and 250 to 300 is where most homes are selling in that area right now. And that's over the last 6 months.
So are you sharing a screen now? Are you sharing a PowerPoint now? Or are you just talking?
I'm sharing a PowerPoint. Can you not see it?
No, it's nothing coming up. Okay.
All right. Come on. Can you see it
There
now?
we go. Yes. Better. Can you make that a little bigger?
How's that?
Perfect. Yes. There
Okay,
we go.
good. I'll figure it out. I'm sorry. Okay, so just to show you a little bit more detail about what's happening here in Pine Hills. In the median home value in 32808 right now is $239,000. That's up 20% in the last year. It's up 37% over the last 2 years and 43% over the last 3 years. Home values are climbing in a huge, huge way, which is great if you own a home, but it's not good if you're looking to buy a home. And now comparing the values with the sales prices, we're very similar. The median sales price is $240,000. And again, over the last 2 years, sales prices have gone up almost 47%. That is just ridiculous. It's really insane. And it makes it really, really hard for anybody to buy a home unless you're cashing out of one and have a lot. It's really hard for a first-time buyer or somebody to go from renting to buying right now. And just to compare, at 32818, over the last 3 years, home values have gone up almost 37%, and home prices have gone up about 30%. Now here we're seeing a little bit of a correction in the last month. Home sales prices have gone down about 5%, but for the last 2 years, they're still up almost 30%. So that's not, doesn't help a whole lot, but things might level off, but it's not going to get much better anytime soon. Which comes into why we do what we do. Our areas of focus are affordable housing, housing instability, and food insecurity. Now, when it comes to affordable housing, we try to develop homes that are energy efficient and inexpensive for the people to operate, because we don't want a family to get in and not be able to feed their family or pay their electric bill. So we develop affordable homes that are designed to look nice and be economically viable. And so far, through development, direct development, and community partnerships, we have developed 89 single-family homes. And our next ones are being built in the Holden Heights area. We have 2 that are in permitting, getting ready to start construction now, and we have 2 more that are hopefully going to be moving some dirt later this year. And this data is from 2020, but I wanted to point it out anyway. So this compares average rent to the median wages in an area. So by this measure, Orlando is less affordable of a place to live than San Francisco, Las Vegas, and San Jose, California. People think of the Silicon Valley as being extremely expensive. Wages are higher there also. So when you compare the cost of living to median wages, we are just really, really high. When you look at the average wage in May 2020, median wage $17.59. So the average rent at $13.28 in April of 2021, we know it's higher now. You'd have to work almost 80 hours a week just to be able to pay your rent. And that's too
Wow.
much. That's too much. So housing affordability, in case you didn't think it was a problem, which I think most of us agree that that's a problem, it's huge. And we're doing everything we can, but it takes a village. There's not a simple answer to this problem. And like I was just pointed out, a median income household simply cannot afford a median priced home. And one of the things that I struggle with a lot is talking to people about what affordable housing is and who needs affordable housing. So this kind of breaks it down for you. Basically, if your household income is less than $85,000 a year, there's an affordable housing program for you. There's fewer programs in the 80 to 120% income range. So if you make between 56,000 and 85,000, there's less programs available to you, but that's where like Habitat focuses in that area. We really focus in that area because we're really trying to make people successful homeowners. And just to give you a point of reference, if your household income is $56,000 a year, you shouldn't be spending more than 30% of your income on your rent or mortgage plus your utilities. So at $56,000 a year, you shouldn't be spending more than about $1,400 a month. And at $85,000 a year, you shouldn't be spending more than about $2,100 a month, if that makes sense. That's just an affordability guideline that HUD uses, and so we use that as well. And that leads me to housing instability. So housing instability is poor housing conditions. People who live in unstable situations tend to be more vulnerable to health risks, often live in overcrowded situations. You might have a family of 6 living in a 1-bedroom apartment. Cost burden, meaning they're spending way more than 30% of their income on their housing costs. So they don't have enough money for a healthy lifestyle, for food, for clothing, medical care. Maybe they move very frequently, or maybe stay with relatives so they don't have their own space. And as we've seen a lot in the last couple of years, bank or landlord troubles. And this could be any one of us. This is people who are one paycheck away from a disaster. Oftentimes, if your tires blow out in your car and now you have to choose, do I pay my rent or do I get my tires fixed so I can go to work? People often have to make some very difficult choices. And so how can we help? There's a lot of things that we do. We partner with local housing and humanitarian organizations because we all have the same goal of helping people remain stably housed. So we work with Habitat, we work with the Sharing Center, and lots of organizations who just help people meet their basic needs of life. If you have a disaster, if a storm comes, all bets are off. We all struggle when something like that happens. And so we have realtors literally ready to be deployed if there's a disaster, if a storm hits the area, so that they can go help the relief in that area. And one of the things that I know the realtors that are on here are really, really great at is advocacy. So we advocate for fair housing practices. And I know some of the realtors on this line will tell you it's really, really critically important to contact your elected officials, whether at the local level, at the state level. Oftentimes, especially at the local level, they're happy to hear from you. So make sure that they know how you feel and what's happening. And one of the things that some advocacy efforts might help, we'll see, not this year, but in the coming years, one of the issues that we're following very closely is homeowners insurance. So this is one of the things that could cause many of us to become insecure with our housing costs. So basically, companies are dropping customers and raising rates at alarming rates. So far this year, we're only 3 months into 2022, and we've had 6 insurance companies drop out of the market altogether in the state of Florida. Rising insurance costs impact affordability. People are being forced, in many cases, to sell their homes and move somewhere else because they just can't afford the insurance premiums. And fun fact, homeowners insurance is roughly double in the state of Florida what it is in every other state. So it's very, very expensive just to live here. And if we have a hurricane this year, a major storm hits Central Florida, or if a major storm hits Florida, period, it's going to cripple our insurance industry. So we really need to be cognizant of that and kind of have a plan and know what your coverages are and know what your home can withstand, if that's possible. So let's talk about some of the problems. Roofing claims and litigation. So, and people are like, roofs, could this really be happening? But yes, roofers, they come and they knock on your door and they tell you, hey, your roof looks like it needs to be replaced. We can replace it and have your insurance cover it. And then you sign a letter that lets them control the claim. It assigns all of the benefits to the insurance company, and they jack the repair costs way up, and they end up suing the insurance company to get paid and settling. So that's what happens in many of our roofing claims and litigation cases. And in the state of Florida, last year, there were more than 100,000 home insurance claim litigations lawsuits filed. That's just Florida. That's 100,000 in 1 year. Now, an average per state is 1,000 cases in every other state. So we have more than 100 times the litigation in Florida than we do in other states. It is insane. So we have about 8%, that's 8% of the nation's home insurance claims, but 76% of the country's litigation. And that tells me that there is a systemic problem here. All those legal fees, guess what? They all get passed on to you. They all get passed on to me. They all get passed on to property owners. And then you add to that the skyrocketing costs of construction, lumber, supply chain issues. It's just a hot mess. So how do you know if you're at risk? Well, one big indicator, if you have a shingle roof that's more than 10 years old, it's going to be a little more difficult to insure than a newer roof. So if you're trying to be proactive and stay ahead of it, know what kind of condition your roof is in for your insurance company. Because if you have a shingle roof more than 10 years old, you could be on their radar. Something you need to know is whether your homeowner's insurance policy covers actual cash value or replacement cost. Now, there's a huge difference here. So as you can see in this little picture, if you have roof repairs that cost $10,000 and you have an actual cash value policy, they're going to deduct depreciation and your deductible. So in this example, you would get $4,500 to pay for a $10,000 repair. But if you have full replacement cost, they ignore depreciation and they only deduct your deductible. So in this example, you would get $8,000 back.
Very good.
So you get a lot more money back. Now you might be paying higher premiums too. So you kind of have to pick what's better for your household. But if you have an actual cash value policy, you need to plan ahead for a disaster because you're going to end up spending more money. And now one of the things that we've really been trying to encourage, but it does not look like it's going to happen. So I got my little fish. Do not hold your breath here because it is unlikely that anybody is going to call a special legislative session to deal with some of the property insurance issues. A few different bills were introduced in the House and in the Senate. Neither one could agree, so they did nothing. There are a lot of things that they can do to reduce litigation, which would really help cut costs, but doesn't look like they're going to do anything this year. We'll see. We're trying. But in the meantime, what are some things that you can do to help control your costs? So if you have smoke detectors or a security system, make sure your insurance company knows that so you can get any discounts or credits. Bundling your car insurance with your homeowner's insurance can also save big bucks. Now, this one, you could increase your deductible, which is going to save your premiums, but then you're going to have to pay more if you have a disaster, if you have a claim. So again, cost versus benefit, you have to decide, do you want to pay through your premiums now, or do you want to cut your premiums and save up some money and pay later? But that's a way to get your premiums lower. Another thing that you can do that's pretty inexpensive, that can save you a lot, is to talk to your insurance company about a wind mitigation inspection. It'll cost you anywhere from $50 to a couple of hundred. They're not too expensive. And you can find out what upgrades you can make to your home that would give you a discount in your premiums. So you can decide if it's worth it, if it's worth the cost to make those changes. So you can add some wind mitigation upgrades to your roof, to your garage, to your windows, such as hurricane rated doors and windows, storm shutters. You can install clips or wraps around your trusses or rafters to help secure the roof to the wall better. One thing that most of us do already anyway that can get you an insurance discount is if you have plywood, like just Home Depot, nothing fancy, plywood panels with mounting hardware to cover every opening in your home, and you store it at your home, you may be eligible for a discount on your wind insurance. So make sure that you have that and can document it and let your insurance company know and see if there's something that they can do. Because a lot of times you might be able to get some help. And when you're struggling to pay for your homeowner's insurance, a lot of those things, we also work to make sure that our families can be fed. So while people think of we're a housing foundation, but food insecurity is part of it. If your basic needs, your food and shelter are met, then other things are a little easier to deal with. So to help deal with food insecurity, we've been working with community gardens and food banks to help keep them fully stocked. Now, food insecurity, according to the Department of Agriculture, is defined as a lack of consistent access to enough food for a healthy, active life. And in pictures here, we have a garden in Apopka, we have a garden in Paramore. And the cool thing about these is they're an amazing resource for the community. They also teach a skill. They teach people how to raise their own food and help give people access to healthier food. And in case you don't think that's a problem here, according to Second Harvest, 1 in 6 Central Floridians are food insecure, and 1 in 3 children do not have consistent access to enough food to live a healthy life. So that is a huge, huge problem. And that is why I encourage you to get involved somewhere. You don't have to volunteer with us, you don't have to donate to us, but if you do it somewhere, anything you can do to help your community is amazing. And I know I've seen some things that the Pine Hills Community Council does, and you guys are definitely doing your part. So, and because the Realtor Association covers most of our operations costs, 95 cents out of every dollar donated goes straight to our programs. So we're able to do what we do for very low cost because of our incredible realtors. So if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to have a conversation, or I will turn it over now back to Ms. Rump. You're muted.
Okay, Ken, if you could stop sharing for a moment, please. Thank you. And I'm going to stop sharing as well. Thank you very much. It was a great presentation. And I'm going to recognize, let me get this big. If they have any questions, do the raise hand feature so I can recognize those that have their hands up by the raise hand feature. If you have any questions for Candy, great presentation, good information about the housing market. I did not realize that was so much litigation going on about insurance, so it's driving up the price, because I get asked that question a lot. What is about the insurance? And I was told it's just with our zip code. 32808 is the zip code, or 32818 is the zip code. And it may be the zip code, but it's also for all this litigation that's going on. So thank you for that information. So does anyone have any questions for Candy? Do the raise hand feature, and I recognize you. If I miss anybody hands up, I'm gonna turn the page. Okay. So look like Candy did a good job.
Yes, you have a hand up, Patricia. You have one. I see Ken's hand up. Great job,
Okay.
Candy.
Okay, Ken, thank you. Ken. You're on mute, Ken. Okay, Ken.
And there's also,
OCSO has their hand up.
yes, the Orange County Sheriff Office has their hand up as well.
Okay, Ken, thank you. Ken.
Okay. We've been trying to figure out a way of talking about marketing Pine Hills. And one of the questions I had is, the unique thing about Pine Hills is there's no two-story or very few two-story houses. So can our fact that we have a lot of ranch houses be a good point for marketing Pine Hills?
I think it can, of course. There's a lot of folks who cannot deal with stairs and can't deal with multi-level housing. So, and a lot of people don't want to have a house. I've got a friend who lives in a 2-story house, and what she really doesn't like is that she can see down into everyone else's windows, and they don't think about that if they have a privacy fence. So, of course, it can work, especially when you have an amazing realtor like some of the realtors that are on this call right now. I'm not going to say any names, but but yeah, that's definitely something the realtors can work with if they have a client who's looking for specific property features.
Good question, Ken. Thank you. Captain Carter.
Yes, ma'am. Candy is the charitable arm of the Realtors Association. Are y'all like Habitat for Humanity, providing completed houses to families, working that agreement like Habitat for Humanity?
Very similar, yes. We have we build homes and sell them at affordable prices. Our model is a little different than Habitat, but works the same way. We partner with Habitat on a lot of projects because, again, we all have the same mission and the same goal. We did recently complete a project where we gave away 6 homes, and that presented a lot of challenges. A lot of folks, you still have to, what's the best way to say this? They still kind of feel like, in a lot of cases, that we're their landlords and like they don't, like it's not theirs because they didn't pay anything for it. So I think a model where people pay a little something works a little bit better and people take ownership of the home.
Very good. Skin in the game. Very good.
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
And you have
Erica?
one more, Patricia. There you go.
Erica.
Yes, hi Candy. Fellow realtor here. I just wanted to comment on the stats that you provided for 32808. I don't know if you remember this or if any of the other realtors remember this stat, but I believe it was either 2019 or 2020. Pine Hills 32808 was the #1 zip code for first-time home buyers because it was the most affordable in our county. It probably still is, but there's not as many people that can afford the houses in Pine Hills now. So I just thank you for shedding that light to people who may not know the numbers. Candy, it's just astounding how fast, values have gone up, which is great. People have equity in their homes, but then it's hard to enter the market if, you still have the same type of income from 2 years ago. When it was more affordable. So it's just more a comment.
Oh, yeah.
It really is. And just so y'all know, I am from Pine Hills. I grew up in Rosemont and I went to Evans High School. So.
Okay, Trojans.
Yep.
Thank you. Noah Martin.
Thank you. Thank you for the great presentation, Ms. Cole. I have one observation, something I've experienced where someone was given a house and they didn't know they had to pay property taxes. So the house was sold at an auction for like $7,000 because they weren't paying taxes. So these recipients of these homes, are they being educated on the intricacies of home ownership, like paying your taxes and insurance and stuff?
Sure, great question. So they did go through homeownership classes that were required to receive the home, and through HUD certified counselors. And that was great, but that's kind of a fire hose of information coming at you all at once. So what's really required is kind of a continuum of care. Almost, we have to have an ongoing relationship with these folks to make sure that they know. And to make it easier for them, we hold their funds in escrow. So they make monthly payments to us. And so we can make sure that their property taxes are being paid.
Very good.
Now, these are all disabled veterans. So to varying degrees, many of them are exempt from the ad valorem taxes. My problem that I most recently dealt with was a disabled veteran who was exempt from property taxes adds solar panels onto their roof, who gets part of the PACE program, again, and it gets assessed on your property taxes, and they thought that they wouldn't have to pay that because it's part of property taxes. So that was a challenge when you're only exempt from the ad valorem piece, and you still have to pay all the special assessments. So there have definitely been some challenges regarding property taxes and the way that those work. But I am in regular communication with all 6 of these, and I will tell you, it's been a lot more work after the fact than I thought it would be, to be honest.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Noah. Miss
Thank you.
Rosalind? Rosalind Clouden?
Yes, yes. Hi, Patricia. Hi, everyone.
Hey,
I've got a
Ms. Rosalind.
question. Hi. What is the application process? And do the applicants have to donate their time, like Habitat for Humanity? Do they have to donate their time to be able to get into one of these homes?
Sure, good question. So to make sure that it is fair, in the past, we don't have anything on the market right now. In the past, we have used Hands of Central Florida and outsourced the qualifying for families and selecting those folks. But our next houses are going to be the 2 that we have under construction right now in Holden Heights are going to be part of this Central Florida Land Trust to make them affordable for 100 years, so that it's a lot more stable than renting. You don't have a landlord that's going to jack your rent up or non-renew your lease so that they can double it for somebody else. So it's a great way for somebody to get into a home, and those will be handled through our partners with Housed and the Central Florida Land Trust. We're going to list and sell those. Others, like I said, we try to outsource as much of that as we can to HUD certified organizations like Hands, so that we can be completely objective, and we're picking and choosing, if that makes sense. We want to kind of keep things at arm's length so that we can not jeopardize our nonprofit status by favoring one person over another.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Nichols?
Yes, hi, Candy. Thank you for sharing the information this afternoon. My question relates to the amounts that you indicated for 32808 and 32818. Is that being driven up by investors purchasing properties in the area?
I'm glad you brought that up. So the state of Florida, I just read a couple days ago, has more empty homes than any other state, because so many houses are being bought up by investors as rental properties, or maybe they're going to sit on them and flip them. I don't know. Usually when you see that, it's a lot of vacation homes or whatever, but in this case, we have a lot of investors buying up properties. And I want to say, I don't remember exactly what the percentage is, but there's a very high percentage of renters in 32808. So I believe that, I can't say for sure, but I do believe that there's a lot of investors buying homes over there.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you.
Erica?
Yes. Candy, you mentioned that you mentioned something about a land trust for the homes that you are building. How does the land trust make the home more affordable? Is property taxes eliminated, or what?
Sure. So in the land trust, you own the improvements on the land and not the land itself. So if the value of your home, just to make it easy, is $100,000, but the land is valued at 25, then you only have to pay the 75. So you can still do anything you want to your home. And for the next 100 years, you lease the land for like $20 a year, depending on what the land trust model is. But it's a way to keep that property affordable long-term, so that and yes, you're capped. A lot of people have a problem with land trust because it's a little more difficult to build generational wealth because you're capped with how much profit you can make. But it's still a lot more stable than renting, and it's a great way to get into home ownership when there's not another option.
Okay.
Did that answer your question?
Yes, you did. And just to add to that I saw that article, 1.7 million homes are sitting vacant in Florida. It's hard to believe that investors are going to have homes sitting empty, because they're the ones driving the prices up, and they want to instantly rent it back because they paid $30,000, $40,000 over asking price. So I'm curious to know who pulled those stats, and how did they know those homes are empty, and maybe we can dig and get them on the market.
I would love that. I would really love that. That would fix some of our problems right now, at least.
Right.
Miss Van?
Yeah,
Thank you, Erica. Ms. Van?
Oh, yeah, hi Candy. My question to you is because we used to relish on the idea that Pine Hill area had more homeowners than most other communities. So, but based on the statement that you made, is that now the homeowner versus the rental is the rental outweighing the number of people that are homeowners within our community? Hello.
She's looking.
Oh.
And she's on mute.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I'm looking. I don't know that that information is in this report that I pulled earlier. In 32808, there were more renters than homeowners, but in 32818, I think the number was reversed. I might have those backwards, but to be honest, I'm not positive.
Yeah, but we used to relish on the idea that we had more homeowners. At one point, it was at 60%, but based on what your information now is that has reversed, and that's not a good thing for a community.
Well, and what someone said earlier was correct in that it is one of the more affordable communities in Central Florida. And the nice thing about Pine Hills, to me, at least, and from when I lived there, and I still see it today, because I'm still involved with some things in the music department at Evans High School and some other things. I love the sense of community that the people of Pine Hills have. The sense of community, the sense of history is pretty great, and that's what makes a community really special.
But the question is that when a community have more rental, is it hard to sell in those communities compared to in community has a higher homeowner ratio?
You know, as a homeowner, I would say sometimes it's a little frustrating when you live next door to somebody when your neighbors are constantly changing. And some people do ask that question. They want to know what the percentage of homes. So sometimes it can be a disadvantage to have a lot of rentals in your community, but sometimes it doesn't matter because your community is so affordable. And there are some great places. There's some great homes in that area.
Yeah, but that's shocking to us because I know that's one of the things we used to say that we had more homeowners when we used to look at the stats. But I gather that has changed in the last couple of years, that we have more renters than we do homeowners, and that's a little scary to hear that. Okay, thank you.
I think you have to merge the two zip codes to get an actual figure to say that.
Or
Because in
just more data.
32818. Right.
Yeah,
You need
Bettina,
more data.
I think more data. I think Candy's provided us with some general, hopefully, information, but I think we can request some additional so that we can see that information a little bit more.
Right.
As to what it looks
I
like in
think
those
that would be
areas.
beneficial for for marketing. We need to probably follow up on that.
Yes.
Candy, the data that we had from the task force, we had an average 60% home ownership in the area, 65% in the 32818 area.
Yeah.
So I think that in the Pine Hills part of the 32808, we are still the majority of homeowners. I think it's at 55%. So that's the information I last had, and it may be 5 years old, but I think it's still fairly accurate.
Okay, we're going to follow the thing here. Ken had his hand up, and we're going back to the other speakers, and we read at 7:40, and we sort of wind down at 8 o'clock. So I'm going to take Erica, and then I've got to move through the agenda because I need Dr. Nichols to tell about what's coming up with our beautification committee. Erica?
Yes, real quick. I do have a reliable source for everyone. If I can share my screen just to give you the website, or because you have to understand how to navigate it. It's from the Census Bureau. You can actually look at, type in an address for whatever neighborhood that you're looking into, and it can tell you how many people are renting and how many people.
Okay, Erica, I just shared the screen with you.
All right.
Thank you.
Can you see my screen?
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
I just made you co-host.
Okay, here we go. All right. How about now?
Getting there.
Coming up.
Yes?
It's just that
Yeah.
Erica has start, there we go. Okay,
Yeah,
yes.
Yes, okay. All right, so the website is, I have it saved in my favorites. It's geomap.ffiec.gov.
Okay.
Most banks use this
Can
when
you
they're,
say it again?
yeah.
Can you make
if
that
you-
bigger?
Yes, ma'am.
Got a lot of questions. Make it larger and
Ooh.
put that information in the chat.
Yes.
I'm like, is it bigger? I'm like, I don't know if I'm.
Yeah, you got
I'll
it.
try to make it big. Yes,
You
okay.
good.
Okay.
All right,
Can
so
you say it again? Geomap.
yes.
Dot.
So it's Geomap. I'm sorry for those on the phone not watching. My apologies. GEOMAP, geomap.ff, like Frank, IEC.gov. I'll actually put the link in the chat.
Yes.
So that way you can have it. So it takes you to the exact landing page.
Say that again for those that listen. It's GEOMAP.
Dot.
FF.
Well, it's GEOMAP dot.
Okay.
FFIEC. That's Frank, Igloo, Elf, Charlie .gov.
Thank you.
Okay, and so this is actually, these numbers are actually coming from our census information. And it's specific to our MSA, which is our Metropolitan Statistical Area. A lot of banks and down payment assistance programs, they use this map to help determine if you can qualify for down payment assistance in a certain neighborhood. It's a lot of data on here, but the 2022 numbers aren't out yet. Usually comes out about August, September. So we're gonna look at 2021. If anyone wants to give me an address in Pine Hills, I can throw it in here and then I'll show you how to read the data. Does anyone have an address they like to share?
Put down 5903. 5903. I think Lemos, LEMOS. That may be an address. Court, LEMOS. Court. Yes, let's see if that's an address.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so yeah, so it comes up. It shows you the census tract, the tract number. Once you get that map up, this gray bar right here pulls up, says census demographic data. You click on that. You have, can everyone see it?
Yes.
So it tells you the census data here. It's middle income level. It tells you how, what the income is in the area. So our median income in 2021 for our MSA, which is Sanford, Kissimmee, Orlando, is $70,800. And then so in this neighborhood, it's saying that $61,306 is what the median income is for this particular census tract, which is everybody in this square.
Okay. So what's the rental population? Where is it showing you the rental percentage?
So here's census income population. Okay, here we go. Owner occupant units, 654. 1 to 4 family units, 1,127. So we don't have we're mostly single family here. So if there are any multifamily units, it's usually apartments or things of that nature. But we're gonna look at housing. It tells you here in the housing tab, the owner occupied units, it says 654. Can everybody see that?
Yes.
And then the renter occupied units, 365. So in this particular neighborhood, there are more owners than renters.
Okay.
What is the median amount of rental properties? I mean, what is it? They're charging between $1,200 and $1,500 a month for rental properties. Is that the median?
Well,
that's in general.
Yeah, this actually doesn't give you the rent information. It's more of the census the demographics on population, income, those type of demographics, not how much people are paying, but more so how much they're making.
And Candy gave that earlier. Thank you, Erica. I think Candy mentioned that earlier about the average rental income for the rent now was about $1,300.
It was like $1,328 last year was the average rent for in April 2021 for the Orlando MSA. And just to go back to, I knew I wasn't completely crazy. From the MLS, which I don't know how complete the data set is, but according to our MLS, in 32808, we have 39% homeowners and 61% renters.
Wow.
And in 32818, we have 57% homeowners and 43% renters. But again,
Thank you.
that's a complete data set, but that's the number, that's the data that I have.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank
Good
you.
to know. That sounds about right.
It's okay.
I have a stupid question. Is there a rental cap in this area in the 32808 and 32818?
You ask if there's a cap on rent? No, those are really difficult to govern. So there may be a cap at some places like a senior center or some government run facilities, but otherwise it's really hard to
So they can pretty much charge what they want.
Yeah.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I don't want to get into this, but just brief, I'm gonna mention this comment, but I need to move on. I know there's been a great conversation.
Yes.
So Ken, I guess this has been long overdue for someone to come on board and to talk about housing. It's been really good information. But just a little bit, the Board of County Commissioner was addressing that today about trying to bring in an ordinance to try to cap rent increase at 5%. But that's a long road to hoe. It's more layers than what you think is there. That's all I can say, because I don't want to get into that conversation. The Board of County Commissioners still hashing this out. They're going to come back and talk about this again and again and again. But the answer to your question is being addressed, but like the lawyer said today, it's not as easy to unfold as it appears to be. There's a statutory, anyway. So answer to your question, like Candy said, there's no cap. So thank you so much. I know we could go on and on and on, but this is 10 minutes to 8.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling in. And thank you so much for calling in. And I'm gonna do a commercial right now, because the Pine Hills Community Council, like I said, we are the leading advocates in this Pine Hills area for our residents. And we do what we do off of membership dues. And the membership dues, we think is very affordable. If you're not a member of the council, please go to our webpage and go to www.pinehills.info and become a member. The Orlando Regional Realtors Foundation is a member, and it's only $5 a year if you're a student, $15 a year if you're a senior, $20 a year if you're not a senior but an adult, $50 a year if you're an agency. We have some agencies that's on the line, like the Oak Shadow Condominium and other agencies, Embrace Families agency membership. And then your organization, like the Scott Randolph, the tax collector, their member, your organization is $100 a year. Then we have other levels of memberships. So please go on our website and check us out to become a member. And this is how the council is able to do what we do, bring these speakers in, bring information into you, and we operate strictly by membership dues. So thank you so much, everyone, for being patient. And if this is your first time here, thank you for joining us. Well, we got to get this one announcement in from Dr. Nichols from this event that's coming up. Dr. Nichols, please.
Well, Patricia, I was actually going to yield that one to you, since you had that at the very bottom of upcoming events. At the very bottom there on the agenda.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and I just wanted to share just the one thing that we have been working on as a council, Pine Hills Community Council, Pine Hills Safe Neighborhood Partnerships,
yes,
as well as our commissioner that's online, Victoria Sibling's office. We have been meeting with our Florida Department of Transportation, state representatives, McCurdy, Brown, as well as Geraldine Thompson. And you're probably noticing a difference on, hopefully, on Silver Star Road, on Hiawassee, on Pine Hills, and on Colonial, and on Kirkman. We have met with them and talked about the litter and the cleanup and the maintenance of those major highways. So hopefully you're beginning to see the difference. They have been very open and working with us, and we have several meetings coming up. We have one tomorrow where we're going to be meeting that was set up by Commissioner Sipling's office and Roseland Clouden, along with Patricia Rumpin and some of the others. We've been working very diligently with the community to get everything cleaned up. So as you begin to start seeing those folks working, just know that it's a council. And when Patricia asks for those, that volunteerism and the commitment to come every month and support us is certainly worth it. So I'm gonna yield the rest of the time to you, Patricia.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
April, this is the month of April, and the month of April is a Global Earth Day. And last year, the council had a huge cleanup event. We drew over nearly 100 volunteers for Earth Day, where we clean up Silver Star Road and Hawassi Road. And this year, the council is partnering with Evans High School. Evans High School have what they call a Trojan Service Day. So it will be April 23rd. That's on a Saturday. The council and Evans and other organizations is going to be cleaning up the area, planting shrubberies around Evans High School. We're looking for adult volunteers, and this is a great opportunity for students who need community service hours. So if you're interested in volunteering with us on April 23rd for a Trojan Service Day and Pine Hills Community Council Earth Day event, let me know. You have my email. Most of you have my email. That's how you got response for being on this call tonight. So you can volunteer with us and help keep Pine Hills looking like we want it to look. That's April 23rd. That's a Saturday from 8 o'clock until about 1 o'clock. We're looking for volunteers for that time. Anybody else want to comment, have any observation? Thank you again for being here tonight.
Yes,
Hand
I'm
raised.
a member. I wanted to know, when are we going to see each other again?
And what's your name? Who's the member?
Olivia Norwood.
Oh, thank you for joining.
I'm a member of Pastor Joseph's church, Joseph Boston.
Oh, okay. But thank you for joining in. We are waiting on the county. Our meeting facility is the county building. And I signed some papers about a couple of weeks ago again with the county. And I guess I'm going a long way down the road. I don't have an answer. But we want to meet also in person again too, but hopefully it'll come up soon. Thank you for asking that question.
You're welcome.
Oh, I have y'all information, but I do want to send you information again. I have Dr. Carla Morse on the line. She was on that call with that Expire Health. She the one that prompted me about what was going on in that meeting. And that's why I was able to get the video and listen. Thank you, Dr. Morris, for being on the call tonight and joining in and finding what's going on with the council. Any comments, observation?
Yes, good evening, everyone. I was listening in. I thoroughly have enjoyed the presentation. I am a realtor for the Central Florida area and some other things that I'm doing in the community. So I'm just really excited to hear Ms. Cole's presentation and everyone else, the comments from the captain and different, the police precinct, and also Mr. I think it was Sam. I really appreciated everybody's, and of course your Madam Chairperson yourself. I do want to just emphasize, as someone had mentioned it earlier, and I am really concerned about the Aspire program coming to the Pine Hills area. Likewise, like the other person stated, it is not something that we want to move in a direction for. And I think Commissioner Moore said it best, as you know, I had written a letter and email to her as well, just stating our concerns about the auto parts that we already have two and 1 mile radius on Claricona Coy Road. We really didn't need the O'Reilly. So I'm really happy to hear that we're not going to pursue that, and we're going to move in a direction to have other types of businesses in the area. But likewise, I was real concerned about 5600 Claricona Coy Road, which is the Aspire program location. It's across from the Walmart grocery store. And basically, like I spoke to Miss Patricia, was that they're stating that that program is going to be geared toward the homeless, and also the former people that have been in prison, and specifically those that have mental health issues. So there were like 3 variables there that was really concerning. They didn't have a strong program outlay of what the security would look like.
Yeah.
And there's just a lot of missing pieces that I felt like was just not a good fit for us here, to have that particular program. So again, I am a very highly strong humanitarian, and it's not really about that. But I think, as someone else said earlier, when we have those type of programs and it's just overwhelming with those type of programs, then the other type of retailers shy away from the area. So again, 5600 Claire Conacoy Road. If you have an opportunity, as Ms. Patricia said, please put yourself on the agenda, because you can either email that your comments to the planning board, or you can attend that meeting in person. But I avail you to send it to your commissioner as well and voice your opinion in an email, because that program is not suited for the area. It is homeless, former homeless, and we addressed that we already have a lot of homeless individuals that have not been addressed, pushing from the Edgewater Drive area and also Silver Star. So just a little concerned about it. Like I said, the program appears to be something that's coming out of Sanford, Florida. They said that they have a facility in Sanford, and Sanford's dynamics is much different than the area where they're wanting to put it there. So thank you for listening.
Yeah, and realize that they say they already have one on what is
Mercy
that?
Drive.
It's Mercy Drive.
Mercy Drive.
Right, they already got one on Mercy Drive, so that's enough in our community. Jeez.
So
Right.
what I'm going to do, which I failed to do tonight, and I will do this. I'm going to send everyone, not everyone, I'm going to put on Facebook information that you need to respond. The case number of this case, the address, the email address that we need to send letters to. Because if you cannot make it to the zoning meeting on April 21st, we got to flood the zoning case manager and our commission, not only our commissioner, but every commissioner on the board, because every commissioner will vote on that. So when you send this out, send it to District 2 commissioner, but copy every other commissioner on that board so they may get this information. I will put that on Facebook. So check out the Pine Hills Community Council Facebook page, look for that information. And I also will send, if you're on my MailChimp, if you're on the council MailChimp newsletter, I will put it in a newsletter form and send that out so you will have this before April 21st. Okay. We're right at 8 o'clock. Do we have any last minute comments? We're right at 8 o'clock, and I like to stay on time because I want y'all to come back next month. We meet the first Tuesday of each month, and I want y'all to come back next month. And I want you to also to sign up for a volunteer for April 23rd cleanup. So is there any last comments? Noel, Martin, our vice chair, is there any last comments? Anybody?
I did want to.
Yes, sir, Pastor Joy.
Yes, I did want to mention, I know Sandra was unable to be on tonight. And for her, she will give an update for the Education Committee, but for the Martin Luther King Initiative, they had a spoken word event that aired on Orange TV last night, and you all can view it live online. And she just wants to let you all know that, and she'll give you all more. You can go to, I'm sorry, forgive me, www.ocfl.net/MLK to view that spoken word last night, and wonderful artists and spoken word artists and poets that was on last night. So thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Joy. Thank you very much. She did tell me that you would give the update. Thanks for bringing that up again.
Mm-hmm.
Again, thank you for coming on again. We would not be who we are without the participation of the community and the board. I'm gonna let Ken give these closing comments and we out of here, Ken.
The only closing comment is remind you that we're having a safe neighborhood Zoom, WebEx meeting on Thursday, the 14th. And it's going to be covering how to maintain and keep your house. Thank you.
Okay. So, okay, good people. Thank you. All minds are clear. Thank you, and thanks for coming on. Good night.
Good night. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Bye-bye.